Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. Another day, another bike ride out this morning with Ethan. Heading home tomorrow, so I'll get one or maybe two more rides in whilst I'm here down at Jorja's house. Though it seems like this week I've seen more of Ethan than I have of Jorja. We are out on a bit of a shorter ride today, not the 5.5 hours that we did yesterday. We're going to do about 90 minutes today, just cruising through the lanes. It's a perfect day to ride. I've got arm warmers on, but I'm going to be taking these off in a minute.
World champion.
I want to talk about, because I saw a comment in yesterday's video and it asked, what is Ethan's FTP? And the reason I want to bring this up is because I think people get way too hung up on FTP. They sort of think it's more than what it actually is. I mean, of course, if you do an FTP test with person A and person B, and then person A has an FTP of 400 watts, person B has an FTP of 200 watts, the likelihood is person A is going to be a better cyclist than person B. But I will talk in the analogy of max power. Yesterday I did a new personal best max power of 1,400 watts, which as a standalone power is pretty good, right? However, as a cyclist, as a racing cyclist, sprinting isn't my forte. And what I mean by that is I might be able to do 1,400 watts as a one-off sprint at the start of a ride, but it's about what you can do at the end of a race. And also in a sprint sense, what you can do for a 10-second sprint, because a sprint isn't just a 1-second burst, it's a 10-second burst, you know what I mean? And this is exactly the same with FTP. I know a couple of UK domestic pro guys who their FTP isn't incredibly high, you know, it's not in the 400s, it's not even in the high 300s. But the reason they are such good cyclists is because they are able to perform that FTP at the end of a race, wherever they want. So they can attack 20 minutes out and hold their FTP power. You kind of get where I'm coming from with this. Of course it's important, of course it has a relevance. It just isn't the be all and end all.
So we do testing, we do testing like 2 times a year.
Yeah.
We do peak power, 3 minute and 12 minute.
Yeah.
With the EIS, the English Institute of Sport. And then they just set the zones for training peaks.
Yeah, so what sort of FTP doesn't dictate your day-to-day training? Like,
no,
it's not something you think about on a daily basis.
No, with British cycling we kind of just go on feel rather than like how your legs feel, rather than just like numbers and things like that.
So whilst me and Ethan have been riding all morning, Jorja's been getting a haircut, so I've driven into town now to go and pick her up. But whilst I'm waiting for her, I'm coming into Costa to grab a quick coffee and also some food. Also figured whilst I was in town I would head over to Kinetic Cycles to pick up a new rear gear cable. As if you watched yesterday's video, you have known that my rear gear cable is literally on the verge of snapping. So before I go out training again, I need to change that cable. Picked up a couple of gear cables, one to go straight on now and also one spare cable, because you never know when you might need one. But when you're buying gear cables, always buy stainless cables. They're supposed to be stronger, they're supposed to last longer. Even though I'm always snapping cables, stainless steel ones are meant to be better. Jorja, I was saying earlier on, I think I spent more time with your brother this week than I have with you. Yeah. We've both just been doing our own things though. You've been busy?
Yeah, very busy.
I've been busy. Riding my bike. Have you been to get a haircut today?
Yeah! Doesn't it very short?
It just looks the same but curly.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But look at the curls. Zoom in. Zoom in on the curls.
routed cables on this frame are an absolute nightmare. Often when you take the cable out, you can attach some sort of thread and use that as a guide when you put the new cable in. However, the problem with this frame is the hole openings are that small. The guide string is just too thick to go through the holes. So I've manually got to try and line up the cable to get it through this rear stay. And it is driving me crazy.